Hi guys, I have a battle against Andrechipote and he leads with Meganium and I lead with Torkoal. So he sets up slide screen and I set up my stealth cox and he sets up reflect and I flamethrower and I didn't pay attention in the beginning of the match. I didn't notice he had set up light screen. So yeah, I flamethrower in the incoming Polyroth, and I was praying to get a burn, and I do get it, but he has a Rostberry, which is totally gay and kinda cures himself from the burn. So I send out Zapdos and I Thunderbolt the substitute and I break it. I mean, who wouldn't break a freaking substitute? And then he waterfalls and it does like butt loads to Zapdos. So he switches into his Ludicolo while I Thunderbolt, and it doesn't do much. And I set up my substitute while he Leech Seeds, and now I probably going to roost. Yeah, I wanna roost, and I do, and I get my health back. And he serves and he breaks my sub, which sucks. But now I will Thunderbolt, and he will live. Spoilers. And yes, I Thunderbolt, and he serves, and I live with 80 HP and not 69 like my previous battle. That's gay. So he protects, and because he protected here, he gains some health back with leftovers, and it is enough for him to live this Thunderbolt and kill me with a Surf. So now I bring in Glaceon, and I'll just finish him off with Ice Beam because Glaceon is smexy, and yeah. So in comes this Zangoose, and from his battle against Jimmy, I know this thing is banded, so I go into Volvic, and I take it like a beast because Volvic is a beast, and he withdraws and he goes into Poliwrath, and I Will-O-Wisp, and and this is actually good because I was able to Will-O-Wisp this Poliwrath who should be burned, but who carries a Raspberry on the Poliwrath? Only Andre. So he goes into Pelipper and I go into Pinch and I Rock Slide, and it doesn't do much, but I get a flinch, which is extremely helpful, and I go for another rock slide, and this one apparently does more damage than the other one, but yeah, that's luck, I suppose, and it was not a crit either. So he brings in Meganium and he sets up Reflect, and I bring Volvic in and he sets up Reflect again while I Flamethrower. That was weird. Thought he might wanted to set up Light Screen, but oh well. So he synthesis and he gains all of his HP back, and this is kinda stally right here. I keep flamethrowing and he keeps synthesizing whatever. So yeah, he will still use synthesis, and I'll keep on flamethrowing until I get a crit or a burn, which will be extremely helpful, but I don't. So now he withdraws and he goes into Poliwrath while I flamethrower, and it does like loads to Poliwrath. I mean, not loads, but some damage. Lol. So he waterfalls and I take it like a beast, and then I flamethrower and he will die. Yay. So now he will bring he will bring Swalot, and I thought this one was a cursor, but he ends up being Specs, which brings a lot of problems. But even with the Specs water pulse, he could not KO my Torkoal, which proves his awesomeness. Torkoal is awesome. And yeah, so I bring Tenchi in, and he switches and he goes into Meganium while I Psychic. And yeah, he'll bring Zangoose in, and he'll Shadow Claw, and I will be able to live, which is extremely good. And I set up my Reflect, which doesn't help me a lot because I'll bring Kingler and Brick Breakage, and it will die. So there goes, Tenchi dies, and I bring Kingler, and I just Brick Break him, and he dies. Finally. So now in comes the Swallow again, and I'm going to switch into Rapidash, who will take a Sludge Bomb in the face, but it will live somehow and not get poisoned, which is even awesomeness. So, no, not awesomeness, no, whatever. So I Flare Bliss and I die, and then he Sludge Bombs, but there's no target. And I just send out my Glaceon and I Ice Beam it, and it dies. So yeah, good game, Andre.